Positively Muskegon is brought to you by Joe Bush for Judge. It's Andy O'Reilly, and the service just wrapped up at the Annunciation Greek Orthodox Church. I've got Pat and Paul Lattice here with me, and Father Honeycutt?
Father James.
Father James. And how does Honeycutt Greek?
How is Honeycutt Greek? It is not Greek.
Okay.
It's British.
British, that's
Yes, sir.
fine. Fathers, let's start with you. We're going to talk about the Pilaf dinner, which is coming up on September 11th. Give us just a second to get to that. I'm staring at some of the baked goods for the bake sale right now. I mean, you're here daily.
I don't eat them.
You don't get into them?
I try not to. They make me wait.
It sure looks good, though.
It does. It's very tempting.
Talk a little bit about the Greek Orthodox Church. What sets the Greek Orthodox Church apart?
Well, I think you have to start by just talking about the Orthodox Church.
Okay.
Because in the ancient church, in the first several centuries after Christ, there was about 5 major cities that rose to prominence in the Christian community all around the Mediterranean area. And that was Rome, Constantinople, which is modern-day Istanbul, Turkey, Alexandria down in Egypt, Antioch, and Jerusalem. And over the course of the first 1,000 years, the church was more or less united as one.
Yeah.
And then around the 11th century, the Bishop of Rome broke away from the other 4 patriarchs to start what is called the Roman Catholic Church as we know it today.
Sure, how I grew up.
Yeah, exactly. And so the other 4 churches to the east, that's why it's called Eastern Orthodox sometimes, went on and have carried on the tradition and the teachings unchanged to this day. So we still reference the councils and things from the first millennium as authoritative for us. So, of course, there are a lot of similarities. If you were to attend a worship service, if you were Catholic, you would probably say there's a lot here that's familiar to us.
Okay.
But we call it Greek Orthodox because we, at this parish, report to a Greek Orthodox bishop in Detroit, who reports to the Archbishop in New York, who reports to the Ecumenical Patriarch in Constantinople.
All the way up the chain.
All the way up the chain.
Just,
so that's
just like the other church.
That's how it goes. But there are other churches in the area that are Antiochian or Serbian or Russian Orthodox. We all teach the same thing, and we're all in communion with each other. You might just notice if you're here, a few words are said in Greek, but I always say it in English afterwards. 95% of our service is in English, so we're very welcoming of non-Greeks. I'm a non-Greek. So there you go.
I mean, I remember back to the days of the Catholic Mass where you would get a little Latin that still crept in. I don't know that they do a whole lot of that anymore. Of course, I haven't been in a while, so.
Well, some people here who are from the Catholic faith say that they do still do Latin Masses occasionally, but it's rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough language.
It is a tough language.
It's a really tough language.
Anything like I said that we say in Greek here, we always say in English afterwards, so anyone would understand it.
How long have you been the pastor here?
2 years.
Is that right?
Yep, a little over 2 years. I was assigned here, August of 2014.
Okay.
And my wife, as a Greek Orthodox priest, as an Orthodox priest, you can be married as long as you're married before you're ordained.
Aha.
So my wife and I have been married nearly 10 years, and I was assigned here 2 years ago.
And so far, so good?
So far, so good.
Good. Well, welcome. Thank you for having us in here today, especially just wrapping up the service and letting us know a little bit more. Now, Paul and Pat are here, and they are part of the big Pilaf festival that's coming up next week.
Yes.
Which is a big, big deal.
Right.
It is
Paul,
for us.
yeah, I know. You guys, how long have you been putting this on?
Well, this is the 42nd.
42 years of this?
Yes.
And what does it all involve? I mean, there's church bazaars, but you guys kind of add a little bit more.
It's an opportunity for the community, first of all, to get some good Greek meal, which is chicken with pilaf, with certain sides that are of Greek. They call them spinach pie, and then also a dessert, a Greek dessert, and then there's Greek pastries, which I think all the world is pretty much familiar with.
Isn't there something called baklava?
Baklava. There's kourimbedes. There's which are a sugar cookie. There's a nut cake. There's a honey cake, and they're all good because they all sell well.
Look at me. You're slobbering, man.
They're not good for your. Might not be good for your diet. But
well, you know,
does
it look like I'm worried about it?
Yeah. And then furthermore, we give a little bit of Greek entertainment, Greek dancing, Greek music. It's just a way, you might say, if you can't take your wife to Greece, bring her to the Pilaf dinner.
That's a good. Now, have you been to Greece?
Yes, I've been twice.
Talk about it.
Well, it's well, I think the most impressive thing about it is we relate back, and you get the origins, the ruins, the Parthenon.
Yeah.
You're taken back to the classical Greek age. That's the thing that most impresses you, which is the substance, the basis of all of Western civilization.
Yeah.
Democracy, the philosophy, whatnot. That's all originated in the classical, miraculously in the classical era, and that's what Western civilization.
Yeah.
Why they mean all the European. That's all based on that.
Yeah. When I see stuff, I've never been to Greece, but when I see stuff on TV and things about Greece, what impresses me most is that they aren't as disposable of a society as we are. Things like, I mean, if we had the Parthenon here, somebody would come along thinking that ought to be a mixed-use residential, commercial, strip mall type thing, and it's just so important that we have that history.
And the Parthenon is generally considered, my brother was an architect and it's considered the greatest architectural feat, and there's reasons for it. You have to study it.
Oh, I watch the shows when I can.
Yeah, and others also.
Yeah.
So so in other words, that's and the other reason we put this on, it's somewhat of a fundraiser. Though some of the money is donated out to the general community, but it's a way good for the whole community. The whole parishioners get together and work on something and kind of have a party. So that's what it all amounts to.
Talk about your role in this.
My role, I was chairman of the baking.
Yeah, and we've got quite a bit of it done here. If you look around this, I mean, you can't really see, but this whole room is filled with baked goods. What are some of the highlights of the baked goods sale?
Well, of course, our baklava isn't here today because we haven't made it yet.
Ken promised he'd have it here for me.
Oh, he did. We have some twist cookies.
Yeah.
That we make every year. They're really good with coffee.
Mm.
And you see, no two are alike because several hands made them.
All handmade.
They're all handmade, and I mean, there were a lot of people here working on them. So, no two are alike.
That's a good thing.
And then we have some powdered sugar cookies.
Yep.
All those trays over there are powdered sugar cookies. And the honey cookies are in all the trays down here.
Yum.
And the rest of the stuff we haven't put together yet.
Not yet.
We've got another week.
Yeah.
We'll get it ready.
Yeah, we're building towards Sunday when this all goes on. Is it now? It starts before or probably right after church?
Right,
We're having church an hour early next Sunday.
Oh boy.
So that everything has been moved up an hour so that we can start right at 11 o'clock with the Pilaf dinner.
And it goes till 5 o'clock.
Till 5 o'clock.
And we have a dance group coming all the way from Elgin, Illinois.
Is that right?
Yeah, one of the instructors has a summer home here, and they came to church here, and they offered their services.
How about that?
So they're bringing the whole group here, and they're going to stay at the summer home. So very, very assistance, really great.
It sounds like a wonderful festival.
Yeah.
How many people come as a rule?
Oh, usually they serve at least 1,000 dinners.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're hoping for some more. We even had a billboard this year.
We got two billboards.
2 billboards. Yeah,
So things are growing.
Yeah. So
You're in the right direction.
Let everybody know that. Give everybody the notice of it so they can.
Sure.
And we are trying something else this year. We are having drive-up takeout.
Really?
Instead, before you used to have to park your car, come into the church, stay in the takeout line, get your food, and leave. But now I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work. It's our first year.
Yeah.
And they can come up to the church. There will be somebody out there to take your order. They'll come in and get it and bring it out to you.
How about that?
And we're going to keep open lanes for them to be able to drive up. So
If somebody was interested in, because these church events are good ways to meet new people and people that don't often come.
Yeah.
Is it an open door policy here for people to come and learn more about the church?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's an absolutely
services are
open door policy, and we actually do church tours.
Yeah.
Every couple hours we'll do church tours to where I'll actually walk people through the sanctuary and describe the icons and the worship of the church. I only planned last year for those to be like 15-minute tours, but people asked such good questions.
Right.
I was in there most of the time for 30 minutes or more doing these tours. So people who maybe wouldn't feel comfortable coming to a worship service here at a Greek Orthodox church can still come, have some good food, watch dancing, and then talk with me or someone here and get a look of the church and say, it's maybe not as threatening or intimidating as I thought it would be.
Kind of dip your toe in the water
That's right.
just a little
and
bit.
I'll have some information to hand out to people if they are interested in learning more.
That's awesome. What a great thing you guys have going here. It's on, what are we on, Pontaluna? Yep, right here on Pontaluna. It's Pontaluna, right?
Right,
Correct.
right.
See, I know my town. I got that right.
Near the
Hoffmaster
Almost
Station.
to
Hoffmeister
Hoffmaster
Park.
Park.
Yep, not too far down from Hoffmaster Park. We'll put the Facebook link here on Positively Muskegon, and we invite you out next Sunday for this Greek Pilaf dinner. Pilaf is rice, just to be on the
Correct.
Yes,
right.
yeah.
I knew that much, but I
Cook
wanted
Greek style.
Greek. And what is Greek style?
With a certain kind of sauce. Yeah,
Is it?
Yeah.
And spices, Greek
Perfect.
spices.
Great time to be had. It's the Annunciation Greek Orthodox Church. Their big Pilaf dinner is coming up on Sunday, September 11th. The details are right here on Positively Muskegon. Pat, Paul, and Father, thank you all so much for coming on today, and good luck on the festival.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.